This is my epic tale of how I tried to win my 27th consecutive stage of ZRacing. It's stage 4 of Crit Club on the Neokyo Crit circuit, and it's a flat course, and it's pretty suited to my sprintery style, and maybe slightly too light for it being ideal, but really it's not one of the more challenging ones of the 27 anyway, let's say. But somehow I managed to make a complete mess of it, really. So this is my first attempt on Monday morning, bright and early, try and get it out the way. And I advised on the In the Drops podcast to use the Ghost and go from about 600 meters to go. So I decided I should use my own advice, even though there's someone off the front, so there's not much point in using a Ghost here. But I hit that power hard and take the front with about three. Oh, not quite the front. There's someone off the front, but I'm clearly going to catch them. So I catch them with about 200 meters to go. But this guy, Kuzu, who's a very good sprinter, stays in my draft and comes past me with about 30 meters to go and wins quite comfortably, really, for a bunch sprint. And yeah, so at that point I realised, actually, I should take the draft van. Draft van's the way to go. So I go again at lunchtime, take the draft van into the finish, and hit it with about 400 meters to go. Maybe slightly later than I should have, really, and hit the front way too early. Just hit the front, and this guy, is it Hickey, stays in my draft. Maybe it's Kimiyuki. Just stays in my draft, easily passes me, and I try to keep the power down, and I think Hickey comes by me as well. Now, rather weirdly, Kimiyuki was disqualified, I think, for not being on Swift Power, and weirdly, Hickey was adjudged to have been beaten by me. So I didn't feel, although I got the win on Swift Power, it didn't really feel like a proper win because it looked like Hickey beat me. So I set about trying to get, and I think Take Eye had no heart rate monitor. So I set about trying to get a clean win over the line without any of that confusion. The criteria for my streak continuing was already met, but I felt I wanted to do it properly. Now, I realised that we had the Ghost power up, and it was only about 1.3, 1.4 kilometres from the final power up banner to the finish. So I decided to use a double Ghost approach. So I took a Ghost and hoped that I'd get another over this final banner, and indeed I did. But I rather stupidly advertised the fact that was exactly what I was going to do on my YouTube channel. I made a post saying that's what I was going to do, and I think maybe Mills had spotted that, because when I used my Ghost, I thought quite stealthily and kept the power down, and when it was running out I was constantly tapping. But so it would have been impossible for anyone to see me, and even Mills started to doubt whether I was actually doing it, because it just didn't reappear apparently in between the ghosts. But it's right behind me. I have got a gap, but I've had to put down a lot more power than I'd hoped in order to get that gap, and I have to keep it down here. And Mills has just sort of exploded the chase, so Pants is on him, and Roosh green, and here comes Dixon, who's a former foe who's been trying to beat me several times in ZRacing, but I think I'd always just got the better of him until today. And here comes Dixon, laying down the power at the right time. He's got a gap on the field now, and I am fading badly, trying to take whatever rest I can on the descent. But here comes Dixon. He comes past me, and although he is fading too, I am pretty much done. So I give up there. I think there's no way I could have found some extra power, but everyone else also comes by me. Maybe I could have held them off, but well done, Dixon. Good race. Got me in the end, as you said you would eventually. But everyone else got me as well. So I think I came 11th in Swift Power on this one. So think I then, in my next attempt, decided to go with... What did I go with this time? Let's see. Yeah, I went with Ghost, just a single Ghost this time, but it's pretty useless because there's already someone ahead of me. I do get some speed by the time I reappear when the 400 meter exclusion mark on Ghosts comes by, so I get a bit of a gap, but there's some big numbers behind me. I've hit the front too early. They've all got draft fans chasing me down, so I lay down the power all the way, but just with 30 meters to go, Walter comes by me and pips me at the line, which was kind of predictable, but it was a good fun race, that one. And then in my next attempt, I think I tried the same evening, my teammate, dirt teammate Goose turns up, and he's an awesome kind of 1 minute guy in particular. And this time I used a double draft boost approach, so I thought I'd need something special and lucky to beat him. So I used a draft fan over the penultimate banner and got another one, which was pretty lucky to take me into the finish. But I hit the front way too early again, not learning my lesson. And here comes Goose, slipping through everyone, slipstreams me, takes me with about 30 minutes to go again. I think that was my 6th attempt. Oh no, that was my 5th attempt. This is my 6th attempt, and yeah, I think I do a double draft again, but put far too much power down far too early. Hit the front far too early again. Lay it down. And rather disappointingly, this guy DK slipstreams me and takes me even earlier this time and drags some others along. Now I give up, and some others go by me. Maybe I shouldn't have given up because DK was disqualified, and I would have quite happily taken the win if it was just him who'd beaten me. But others slipstreamed him and slipstreamed me. Probably would have beaten me anyway, but I should have probably made a better fist of attempting to get the lower places and taking it all the way to the line. And this is my 7th attempt against an old rival, John Ravine, who's on the Yellowtron with the pink and yellow top. And this time I hit the draft fan in about the right place, but again nearly hit the front accidentally. So really lay off the power this time. Tried to look out for John. Here comes John. He's going big now. I managed to get on his wheel, hitting the power at the right time this time, getting in the draft, and doing what the others have done to me so many times, with about 30 meters to go.
Kaboom! And that is how you do it.
Indeed, that is how you do it. If only I'd realised that 6 races ago. So that was a bit of an epic struggle. I've got 2 wins on that stage officially, but that one was rather more satisfying.